Yeah. Well, we're live. So I need to put this over here so I can half-ass see the chat. Let's see here. Here. Open. All right. As some may know, I've been working on this the carumba. We're doing the gold leaf letters on it. And when you do something like this, it takes a little time. And I'm going to be working on the other side tonight, freehanding the outline and fixing the spot that I got a couple spots that is bare. There we go. The real Steve Smith.
What's going on, Sparky?
Not a whole lot.
Hi, caramba.
Yeah, I got my printer ink today, and I got a AI generated Bart.
Nice. My phone, not yours.
Yeah,
Turn that baby down.
please. Dan Winship's going to try to come in tonight. Dan, if you're watching, you got to get it. You got to get the link at the bench. You got to log into Stunt Hangar, and I know you remember there.
I remember seeing his foam wing videos on YouTube a long time ago.
Yeah, GeoCities.
The the ones where they're hollowed out on the inside too.
Yeah, all foam wings are
Well, the RC guys that I've seen do it, they just leave heavy and full. But I guess you're saying all the control line airplanes with foam wings, they always hollow them out like that.
Yeah, this one's hollow. I mean,
Oh, okay.
you don't want to carry around any more weight than you have to.
You have to do that after you put the skins on, I guess.
Actually, you should put the skins on, then hollow it out.
Yeah.
If you're the wing cutter, that's how it should be done. Now, this one here was not done that way.
Are you just drawing freehand around the outside of those?
Absolutely.
Wow. You don't do caffeine, do you?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say you couldn't have really smooth hands like that, I bet, if you had caffeine in you.
Well, in another lifetime, I was a sign painter.
I've watched you do some of that too. Yeah, that's
Many thousand years ago. But I'm an artist. I can draw. I can do whatever I have to do.
yeah, you don't I think you don't realize how much time it saves you when you're building that a lot of people have to like measure and mark and check and you can just zip 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 do it freehand without thinking about it on a lot of that stuff.
Well, it comes from 60 years of practice.
That helps too, I'm sure. But there is some ability in there, I think. Practice notwithstanding.
Well, I wonder how big a crowd we're going to have tonight.
There's Gary Sinclair. At
Gary
least
There, yeah, he's coming on.
There's a small hobby distributor in Westport called Midwest Model Supply. I don't know if you ever knew about them, but I used to work there when I was younger, like part-time job in the summer. And the guy that owns it, his name is Jim Wilmus. And I swear, whenever I see Gary, he looks exactly like Jim Wilmus.
Wainwright says, I can't hardly read it. It's so tiny. Like given, thanks. Hi, Annie. Hi. Glad you're after the storm. If you want to chat with me, PM me. It's under Lisa Rice. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. All this stuff that I do here comes from when I was a kid, and I saw a sign painter. His name was Art Thorpe. And I said, "Hey, mister, what are you doing there? Boy, that's neat." And I stood and watched it. And I mean, I was a little kid. And I started bugging and pestering him. Can you teach me how to do it?
And he did, obviously.
Well, not really. I just went over to his house a lot. And that's, back then, he was probably 40 and I was probably 10 or 12. You could get away with doing that. You couldn't do that today.
I was going to say, that's the kind of thing people look at you weird if you had a kid coming over to your house when you were 40 now, but it shouldn't be like that, I guess. My next door neighbor was the one who kind of got me going on airplanes. My dad wasn't really into this stuff. I was always hanging out with the neighbor who was a grown up. Of course, it was literally right next door, so everybody could keep an eye on me.
Well, Art saw that I had some talent. I got a job at Imperial Valley Sign. They go, "No, we don't want to hire you." No, I said, "Well, I got to wait around for my ride." And I went upstairs in their sign shop, in their design shop, and I designed a sign. And I brought it down. I said, "Well, while I was waiting for my ride, different. This is what I did." He said, "You did that?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, we got a place for you." So
What do you know, Gary?
Oh, I was thinking of what he just said. Yeah, I remember. That's the way I kind of did it too. You just kind of get in there and do something for them or something, and pretty soon they'll accept you and go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got to get through 8 levels of HR and artificial intelligence, scoping out your resume, and asynchronous video interviews. And it's a different world now, sadly.
I will guarantee you, I can take my sign box to any sign shop and say, I need a job. And if they got something to do or paint, I'd get a job without any. And I've never got a job filling out an application. Never. I've always been hired on the spot.
Maybe a small business, you could do that still.
Yeah.
There aren't very many small businesses left either.
Sparky, do we have, is John still with us?
John who?
John, what was his last name? Sparky? Yeah. Saturdays at John's?
No, he passed away.
Oh, did he? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, this airplane's in memory of him.
Well, that's what I thought it was, but
Jordan Air.
Yeah, Jordan. Okay, so okay. When did he? Do you know the date he passed away? Offhand?
Been about going on 2 weeks now.
Well, that's a shame. I must have missed the video where you mentioned that because it didn't turn in on time or something to catch it.
Well, if you go on Stunt Hangar and look for Saturday at John's is no more, that's the day he passed away.
Okay.
These videos have helped me more ways than one. I figured out why my paint bubbled because of these videos on my June RXL. I used Brodax sanding sealer. Never use that again.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll be able to go back and glean some of the stuff from your last videos that you did.
Well, I'm not talking a whole lot because I got to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
I'm not talking a lot because I'm sanding.
On that 40-point ringmaster.
No, these are the. I'm working on my fuselage template to build these sky rays.
Oh boy. You just go zip zip and put it together, and that's it. And it's Skyway. It's nothing.
Yes, I don't. I'm a little more deliberate. Take my time. It's about the journey, not the destination.
I like that answer. That was pretty good.
There's Phil.
Yeah, see. I see some orange where I thought it was going to be silver.
Yeah.
Sparky, what are you doing?
Outlining my gold leaf letters. So they look like this.
Oh, yeah. It looks nice. Did you do the gold leaf yourself, or is that?
Yeah, I did it.
I know you. I've seen you do it before, but I didn't know whether you did this one or whether you. I found some vinyl that I cut and put on the plane and did what you're doing, and it looked like gold leaf. Everybody was asking me where I got it, but I went back to try to get some more, and man, you talk about expensive. It's cheaper to just do it yourself. Caramba.
Well, this ain't cheap anymore.
No, ain't none of it cheap anymore.
10 sheets of 23 karat gold leaf is $38. So it's
Yeah.
$3.80 a sheet. And they're about that square.
Yeah, you get about a letter and a half, 2 letters out of one
This
sheet.
is imitation gold leaf, variegated.
Ah, I saw some at Hobby Lobby a while back. Should have bought it, but I didn't. I like the black stripes. That's a nice addition. It
These
looks good on there. Yeah,
Mhm.
that looks good on there.
There's John.
How you doing? Ay,
Hello,
caramba.
hello, Senor Santa Claus. How you be doing, man?
Hey, speaking my language.
See?
Es de verdad.
Oh man. I got a question. Why in the heck we got 12 months to do things in? Why does everything have to happen on the weekends in October? I just can't figure it out. Every darn weekend, there's 3 or 4 different things I want to do.
And it takes us
Oh,
11 months to prepare.
I reckon. Well, I wanted to go flying in the morning. Tom called a while ago and said everybody's going at 9 o'clock. I said, well, I ain't gonna be able to make it. I'll come out there and bring you the stuff I ordered for you, but I ain't gonna be able to fly. He says, why? I said, because I've already promised to do 2 different things and I'm gonna go do something with my wife for a change, is the honest truth of it. And
No.
I told Tom that. Yeah, the Autumn Leaves Festival is tomorrow. We're going to that, and then I'm going I'm going on the way out of town. I'm going by a car show to see a friend and see how his car looks in the car show, and then I'm going up where he lives actually to the Autumn Leaves Festival. But I can't do everything everybody wants me to do.
Well, Phil, remember this important piece of advice that my grandpa gave me years ago.
What's that?
Keep mama happy, because if mama ain't happy, nobody's.
Ain't nobody happy. Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's
I was
right. You
going.
got to do it while she's living.
Yeah.
I
When they're
took my
gone.
It don't
took-
work after they're gone.
no.
No.
I took my bike and got it ready to fly. Well, I'm going to try to fly the SE5. Was going to try to fly the SE5 tomorrow. And I bought some 15% fuel to put in it. I got some. I didn't buy it. I got it. And everything all ready to go. And then found out about this. And I said, well, I'd rather go to Autumn Leaves. I mean,
Yeah.
I can fly anytime. But my wife
Let me
don't
ask
come
you
up.
about that bike. That's a converted P-38?
Yeah, 38 special. Yeah.
38 special, okay.
And it
That's a good
flies
bike.
great.
That's
It is.
based on a design by a fellow named Miller, not this Miller, another Miller.
Yeah, I forgot the name of
It
the
was a
plane.
dancing girl bike.
Dancing Girl. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. I had plans to that way back when, but
I got plans.
somewhere when I moved from the other house to this house, I lost a whole box of plans, and Dancing
It
Girl was in
happens.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it. I just haven't run across it, but I know I got it. I even may have
Yeah.
it as a digital version. So
Mm. I'll tell you what. I told a couple of the fellas about that CD-ROM or
yeah,
flash
yeah,
drive.
yeah.
Oh boy, I got a feeling I'm gonna have a headache when I get that. I got 3 different people want me. We run me a set of plans to this. Run me a set of plans to this.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling them about the 38, the P38. I've wanted a twin for a long time, and that looks buildable. I mean, everybody's
You
talking
know,
about how tough it is. I didn't think it looked that hard. I mean, it's hard, but I took
make it electric.
it's going to be electric. But I took the plans to Jack Sheik's uh, twin mosquito, and built that with a round fuselage, round nacelles, and it's all sheeted, everything's sheeted, but it's round because the real one was round. It was not flat sided. It was round.
Oh yeah.
I tried to make it look like the real one, and that darn thing flew well. But it's hanging over the cash register in a restaurant in High Point.
I had a friend in Wisconsin that built when he built it to plans with the pair of Fox 35s on it. And that thing flew real well. You
It'd
know,
just pull your arm off, but
and I
it flew
built,
well.
I built Chic's Stagger Wing Beach,
Yeah, that's a nice plane.
and that thing flew well, believe it or not. It did
Yeah,
the whole pattern easily.
I never flew that one, but I've only flown 3 biplanes that I can remember. 2 of them were the SIG series, the Falker and the Spad.
Yeah,
And they both, man, when the power quits, you need to be about that far off the ground.
yeah, they come down like a rock.
They do. I mean, they just absolutely. And
Well, that
then
38 special, that
I
glides.
I thought the 38 was going to do the same thing. So when it ran out of fuel, I just pointed it down at the ground and then pulled up at the last second. And that sucker floated in ground effect for better than half a lap. I thought, what in the world is this going on? Tommy said, "What were you doing?" I said, "Well, I expected it to do what our SIG planes did. You know, Dixon designed this one, and it flies a little better. So now I've got it to where when the motor dies, I try to be at 6 feet, and wherever that motor dies, half a lap later is where the wheels are going to touch
Yeah.
from 6 feet."
Well, what I read, I know I've got the plans in the article for the Dancing Girl, and it describes it flies pretty much the same way. I think, you know, I mean, I like Tom Dixon, don't get me wrong, but I think the 38 Special is basically a profile Dancing Girl.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
He'll tell you that. He'll tell you that's where it came from. He's told me that.
yeah, yeah. And I think the fellow, I'm trying to remember the guy's first name. I know his last name was Miller. I don't know why I'd remember that.
I can't think of who you talk. I know. I think you're right. It's Miller, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his first name. Was it?
I was looking at Howard's airplane there on the wall. I wish I
Oh.
could have got mine to come out like that. I got the file. I had the files. I don't know what I've done with them now, but I had the files to do that swish that's on his airplane there, black and white one. And mine just did not look right in the middle for some reason. It just would not print right. It was
It didn't
all
switch?
it kept skewing. No, I think it was I didn't have something. I didn't do something right. I don't.
Well,
I,
didn't you
but-
do 2 of those, Howard?
3.
3 of them.
Yeah.
See, each time he's trying to get it right. He
Well,
finally got it right on that one now.
I've seen the old
dog, and believe me, it's right. But the new dog is gorgeous.
Just
Um,
teasing with you, Howard. Just teasing with you.
It's good to see Philip. I was worried about you, and good to see you have electricity and
Yeah.
five other things you talk about model airplanes.
Oh yeah. We really didn't get hurt here. Winston-Salem and Lexington and all didn't get hurt. But boy, I've got some friends live in Asheville and they're in hotels.
Yeah.
Their house is not damaged. It's gone.
Whoa.
Mercy.
Oh, could you imagine if that happened to the house you're in now? All the stuff you got that's irreplaceable,
Man,
completely, totally wiped out.
it
Oh,
wouldn't break your heart. It just ruin your I mean, I don't know what I'd do. I'm
Yeah.
serious. I don't know what I'd do because I've got stuff downstairs that's 50 years old and there's no way I can replace it. Couldn't dream of replacing it.
Yep. And that little car you got stashed away there in the garage, that
It's
float
in the
away.
basement too, yeah. Yeah, my little Datsun is I had it outside and the guy come by and wanted to buy it and offered me good money, but I told him I'm sorry, I can't sell that. I've had that thing 49 years and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I got a guy wanting to buy my Toyota Skyraider. And he's actually offered me a pretty good deal where he'll help me rebuild it. What I'll do is just sign a paper that the money he's put in there is part of the down payment on, you know, the rest of it's due at the time he takes full ownership.
I don't know, John. Be careful of that. A lot of times I did that one time, something like that one time, and It didn't work out like I thought.
Oh, really? I'll
Yeah.
be careful. I expect
You
to
be
take
real,
it.
you be real careful because there's a lot of guys that got fast tongues and no conscience.
Well, I'll run it by my attorney.
There you go. And you make sure you keep track of every hour you spend on it and every dollar you put in it.
Yeah. Well,
So
I look
Trent-
at it this way, though, at my age, it's about time to start thinking about selling it, but I got a couple trips I want to take yet with it before I let
Yeah,
it go. Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean there too. We built when we were much younger. We decided we wanted to build a hot rod. Let's
Yeah.
build a real hot rod. And to me, I'm kid of the 50s, late 50s, well, mid 50s, actually 55. Actually June of 55, so I'm mid 50s, about as mid 50s as you can get. But anyway, Shelby Cobra, 427 Cobra,
Yeah.
little two-seat sports car.
Right.
That was,
Big
to
killer.
me, that was the hot rod. I'm not talking T-buckets or any of that stuff. I mean a real hot rod.
More
So
people died in that thing than
in our infinite wisdom, we decided to build a kit car, build one. Because you couldn't afford, even in the 70s, you couldn't afford to buy one. The darn things were already $500,000 for a nice one. And now they're $1.5 to $2.5. Buddy of mine that's had one for 40 years just sold it and got $2.5 million out of it. And it was not a hangar queen. He drove that thing, not every day, but
Yeah.
it was driven. And I said, why in the world did you ever sell it? He says, Phil, I'm 83 years old. I can't keep up with the darn thing anymore. And I know what he meant, because when we built one, it's a long story and I'm not going to tell the whole thing, but I got in the car and took off and drove it up the road. I wanted to drive it one time. So I drove it up the road, turned it around, brought it back and put it on the trailer. Told my brother, guide me on the trailer. He said, well, what did you think? I said, I think it's too dang fast for me.
Yep.
He said, you're kidding. At the time I was driving a super stock dragster to drag strip.
Right.
A 72 Duster. But this thing was so light and so powerful. When I went to turn around in the road, I realized I'm going to have to back up. No, didn't have to back up. Just punched the gas a little bit and rear end came right around.
Just walked her around.
On down the road. I said, no, I get hurt in this thing.
Well, on this Sun Raider, what I'd like to do, I'd like to take a summer and load up my airplanes and my junk in there, and take off somewhere in the early summer or spring or whatever, and just crisscross and go to contests.
Yeah.
Spend one summer doing that.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to sell it,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've driven it out to Brodax 3 times.
Oh my.
Yeah, from Brodax I went I went through Virginia and down through the Carolinas and Georgia, where my wife came from. Spent 2 or 3 weeks in Georgia and came back through the southern tier, along the panhandle of Florida, and it was a great trip. Did that like 3 times. But I'd
did
like
something like I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, I'd like to
I've
do
always
that.
wanted to get a camper and just make a lap of America.
Yeah, yeah. And I've got the camper. I've got it, and it's a 4-cylinder R2000 series engine.
Oh,
They last
Toyota. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the good one. The other one, just like it was a Chevrolet. And if you had that one with a 4-cylinder, that was a gutless wonder.
No,
An Iron Duke was a great motor. Was a great motor in a Chevy too, but not in a camper.
Yeah. Well, this one gets me 15 miles a gallon. We'll cruise it to legal highway cruising speed unless I get on somewhere where it's 80. It doesn't like to do 80. It's pushing it pretty hard. But it'll do 65, 70, at cruise, and give me 15 miles a gallon doing it. Well, how many RVs? It's only good for 2 people, really. They say up to 6, but you better be real friendly, and some of them better be kids, because There's only so much room in there. But, you know, 3 or 4 airplanes in there and 1 or 2 people and you're loaded, but what the heck? You know, you drive around, you get tired, you pull into a Walmart parking lot, sleep there for a while and head on to the next contest. I'd love to go down to Triple Tree. You know, I'd
Yeah.
love
That's this week. That end this week, and they wanted me to. They asked me to come down today. Will called me and asked me to come down today and fly some down there, but I didn't get my lines made up. I didn't get. It's just this week's just been one thing after another all week. I hadn't got anything done, but
Well, Phil, take your lady out, entertain her this weekend.
I'm going to.
You know, get all that
Have
taken
some-
care of, and then you can sit down and take care of the business, and
Yeah,
you'll be flying next weekend.
yeah. I did get to take. I did haul off a load of junk tonight. Took it to the dump. $8 to get rid of a load of junk. I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
I can't figure it out. And then I went down the road to find out how much it's going to cost me to get rid of a load of wood that's on my where we trimmed a couple trees and had a few limbs down stuff. Trimmed some stuff up and filled up my little trailer. And the guy says, "Well, it's going to be how big's the trailer?" I said, "It's 5 by 8." He says, "Is it full?" I said, "Well, it's stacked up about 2 feet high, 3 feet high, something like that." He said, "You're probably looking somewhere between $15 and $45. I said, "That's a $30 spread for a 5 by 8." He said, "Man, ain't nothing cheap anymore." My goodness, I think they're trying to scalp us nowadays.
Well,
You used to could go in there and dump it for $5, now to 15 to 45.
look, we've averaged for the last 3 years, if I've got the numbers right, we've averaged right around 3% for at least half of those a month for at least half of those years.
Yeah,
That's an increase.
yeah. It's
And
getting ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, I'm on a fixed income, so are you.
Yeah,
You know, and man, I run out of money long before I run out of month. You know,
I'll tell you what, it's hard. And it always astounds me that, I look through eBay right regular. I guess I don't know if everybody does, but I look through eBay right regular. The guys don't want to sell the good stuff until it's a month that I'm running so lean I can hardly buy anything, and then they want to sell all the good stuff.
yeah. Well,
But
that's because they're running lean too.
I guess. But I was looking through there yesterday, and I've been looking I like to fly fish, and I looking through there, and I was looking for a reel that's called a multiplier. You turn the handle one turn, and it turns 2 1/4 turns. So that's nice when you got a whole bunch. You've been fighting the fish, and you got a whole bunch of line out, and you need to get it out of the way so you can move down the river without getting all this line caught up in something. And you don't really fight with a multiplier. You don't use the reel. You play it
Yeah,
by hand.
right.
But anyway, it's a different way of fishing because I was trained to fish with the reel, but I can't do that with it. I was told not to do it with these because you'll break it. But want one anyway. Finally found one, got it ordered, and it's supposedly on the way in here. The bank called me and want to know, did I really make that purchase? Well, yeah. Howard, what did you do to your hand?
Oh, I tripped over something, fell down, and messed up my wrist.
Oh boy, you be careful. You're gonna wind up like Bob Palmer.
Uh, yeah, or you, or any number of guys.
You mean my diminished critical statement? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about your hands.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it.
Man, I'm telling you.
No, and my hands are crippled up, but my critical statement is diminished.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, your critique will be diminished of my stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see? I get no respect when I get into a what do we call it? I want to say piston fight, but that's not what I want. when you get in a road rage, you know, and you get somebody flips you off and you give them that back and they just laugh.
Those two of the day that they're getting mean. I was down in another state. I'm not going to say where, but I was down in another state, and
So that means it's a southern, same
Well-
last name as yours, but southern.
yeah, well, anyway, guy flipped a guy off, and the guy pulled a pistol and showed him the pistol, and the guy on the other, I'm here, that guy's there, and he's flipping this guy, the guy over here off. But I'm
And you're in
coming
the
up
middle.
between them. I'm coming up between them, and I see the pistol. He's sitting there. He didn't point it at him, but he showed it to him. But the guy over there was a SC highway patrolman, and he saw it.
That's called brandishing.
Yeah, pulled in behind him and gave him a nice. I'm sure he gave him a nice ticket.
Yeah.
I thought, buddy, I thought you had better sense than that. I hoped you had better sense than that. That's just stupid. You don't do stuff like that, especially with all the
Wow.
shootings, with all the shootings and crap that's been in the news lately. Man, you don't do something that stupid.
Listen,
They're gonna
when
come
we were
down hard
kids,
on you.
when we were kids, you disagreed with somebody, you just kind of said, "Ah, he's a little strange or whatever, whatever." You got along, you know. We weren't as mean to each other as they are today, man. You piss somebody off now, and they'll try to take your job, your house, you put you out on the street, homeless, a whole bit, you know.
I mean, up through high school, I had a guy that we've had knockdown, drag out fights
Oh, man.
a dozen times. But we turn around the next day and go do something, go out to lunch together, whatever.
Yep.
You have a
How about
fight,
model
next day you're
airplanes?
fine.
Model
Well,
airplanes, yeah.
Yeah, but man, today they just shoot them. My God, what's the matter with you people?
Well,
they just
Not
drive
model
crazy and
airplanes.
act crazier.
let's get it back to model airplanes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I want to know what he's doing. If that was Sparky, if that was oh Lord, boy, that thing turns. If that was, I've forgotten what you called it, gold leaf. What are you doing there? It looks like you're patching.
Yep. I did. I patched it.
Yeah, at a bad spot.
So you decided to name it Caramba?
Yeah. Gonna have a Bart Simpson character on it.
All right.
I tell you what, you did you messed me up. I ended up going downstairs and putting cellophane on the cowling on my Nobler, and spent the better part of a day patching up a Nobler, making it look nice for the cowling. But I gotta admit, it looks nice now. I'm happy with this one. First one in a long time that really looks nice. But I did both halves, the cowling and the plane, and sanded them just enough to where they went together right. Left all the flashing and everything else out here, and then screwed everything together and sanded everything at one time. And it came out really well. Still had to go back and patch one little spot, but it turned out really nice. Appreciate you showing that little trick, because I had never known. I'd always done it. I'd always done my cowlings, put them together, and then mark everything just as meticulously as you can, and sand it down a little bit, and then put 1/64th on each side. But you can't put 1/64th everywhere. But this stuff you can use everywhere, all the way around. Even a needle valve hole, you can give it a little lip around the outside of it. It's a booger to sand, but you can do it. But
You talk about my superfill trick?
yeah, that was neat. I enjoyed that. I did that, and it turned out looking good. I appreciate you showing me that.
Comes out perfect.
But let me give everybody a hint, because I did it the wrong way. If you go to do that, you're going to do around your cowling, just remember, do a little bitty bit and use it up, and then mix up a little bitty bit more, because I figured this is half what I'm going to need, and it turned out to be twice what I needed.
I mix
Yeah.
enough up to do the whole cowl at the same time. Spot about that big around.
Yeah, well, I did about that and had way too much. Got to remember, mine's a nobler cow. It's only 3 inches long. You know, it's not very big. Yours are 6, 8, 10 inches long. These are much smaller, but it looks good. I think it looks good now. Once it gets primed and painted, it's going to really be pretty. Oh, John, I did another neat trick. I ordered a pint of Brodak primer, white primer.
Don't
Yeah.
use it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Boy, that stuff, I don't know if it sticks worth a darn, but my golly, you talk about heavy. That stuff weighs more than a quart of clear.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
The
Well-
reason I say don't do it is my June RXL, after hanging up in Dayton, the paint began to blister off of it because I used that Brodak primer. And John and I were discussing. He said, "What did you do to this?" And I said, I don't know. I don't remember." Well, somebody had mentioned something on one of my videos, and I went back and looked, and sure enough, I never used that primer before. I used it on that airplane. That is what caused it to blister, because I was painting it on the video in those spots that it was blistering. Don't use it.
What do you use, Sparky? What I'm planning on doing is just the clear with some white in it. And then I've always used polar gray and white mixed.
Yeah, I just use whatever color you're going to paint the airplane, add some into the clear.
Yeah.
That's clear sand.
Do you put on an airplane?
Huh?
How many coats of color are on that airplane?
There's a
Of
half.
white. Of white.
There's half a pint of white on this.
2 coats?
Yeah, I think it's probably 2 coats. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I can shoot for then. So I want to get the thing that bugs me, and some really good builders that I know do this, and they've gotten to where they're doing it Sparky's way, trying to put a limited amount of paint on the plane. But when that plane goes up where you're looking through the open bays, you can see through it. It's clear.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
No.
Yeah, when you
I like-
set it on the ground, you can't see through it. This airplane here, you hold it up the light, you can see through it.
Shades of blue.
Yeah, shade simply blues.
That's just giving you enough color to make it solid when it has no light shining through it. I can see
It's sitting on the ground.
yeah, I can see the benefit in that.
I've
been
taking mine and doing just the open bays now, not the whole airplane, just the open bays. I've been putting silver and white on and putting a coat of that on there, and you cannot see through it then.
Well, I'll give you a clue on silver. It's the heaviest color because it's real metal.
Well,
and
it's not. I'm not
it
using
has pore
silver.
adhesion.
It has what?
Pore adhesion. When you peel up
yep.
the
Yep.
tape, it peels right down to the silver.
Oh yeah, it does. You're right. But no, I don't mean silver. I mean polar gray. Polar gray and white is what I've used on several of the planes. Mixed. So it's a light, it's a gray, it's a light gray. But I read something on Billy Werwich used polar gray and white mixed as a primer on one of his planes, and I've been doing it ever since.
I'm curious because the real Steve Smith has been doing something there.
He's
Yeah.
building that 40-point ringmaster.
Is that what he's doing? He's shaking his head no. What's
Is
he
it
doing?
No, he's not. He's building 3.6 Sky Rays.
Ah, there's a guy on.
Are you building
I'm
them
not
stock?
building them. I'm not building them fast enough to keep Sparky happy, but I'm building 3 of them.
Well, it only took 2 years for a ringmaster, and it ain't done yet.
It's true. I don't put the same hours in the shop that you do though, so it's not like it's got 2 years worth of work on it.
Steve, you got the same problem I got. I've got several planes downstairs that are I'm embarrassed to say how many planes I have that are ready to paint. And I have at least 3 more that are going to be ready to paint, and just 5 hours over here, 5 hours there, 5 hours there. One of those 3 would be ready to paint.
Yep.
But I can't bring myself to paint. I can't paint in the house. I have to paint outside. And it seems like it's too hot, it's too cold, the wind's blowing, or it's raining.
Right.
Well,
now
you
if
know,
I-
there's a song about that little brown building out back.
Well,
You need to
mine's
finish that little brown building out back.
mine's red. Mine's red,
Okay.
barn red with a black roof. And
All right.
my wife showed me tonight a generator that she's planning to buy me for Christmas. And she said, next summer, you're going to have a place to paint.
There you go.
Oh, Lord, guys, my wife's conspiring against me. Now I'm going to have no
You'll have
excuse. not-
no
have no
excuse.
excuse to get some of these darn airplanes finished. What am I going to do with this woman? And my dog wants up in my lap. I guess I better let him. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
he's got peace,
He wants to
so
say hello. No, he's been out. He's already been out. But he wants to get up here and say hello. He likes to get his.
He's mad at me because I.
Said the bird gets all the screen time. He's jealous.
Yeah. Vicky says he's mad at her because she won't what?
Doctor his food.
Oh, she won't doctor his food. Okay.
No way.
We're making him eat dog food. It's just dog food.
Oh no.
oh no, poor
That's a
dog.
treated thing.
I made the mistake of putting, well, she did too. I don't remember which one of us did it first. I did. Okay. We put gravy in his dog food, and he got used to it. Now he don't like dog food that don't have gravy in it. And that gets, we don't have gravy every night, especially
Well,
since
ask
I
yourself, would you eat
got dog food. No, I hope not,
it? Okay. Then why do you expect him to eat it?
because he's a dog.
Because he's a dog.
I got news, Sparky. I did without new cars and a lot of other things, and in hopes that I would never have to find out what dog food tastes like, because I knew, once you retire, you only got so much money coming in every month. Well, I'm not hurting, but I hope I'll never have to find out. But I certainly hope I never have to find out what dog food tastes like.
Well, dog food is probably better than cat food.
I don't know what that tastes like
Well,
either.
It depends because there's not that much horse meat in cat food.
No, but there sure is a lot of stinky stuff in cat food.
Yeah, a lot of nasty
Yeah,
fish. Ugh.
fish parts. Fish parts.
Oh God. Somehow I'm glad I'm allergic to cats. Shoot. But I got 2 things going against me. I'm allergic to cats and I can't smell, so. But this little fella here when I'm feeling bad, he knows it. And he will pester the crap out of me to pet him. And somehow he always puts you in a better mood. He's a
So
great
were you
little
feeling
dog.
bad just now? Is that why he came up to you?
No, he was mad at her. I'm
Oh.
also the getaway,
He
Okay.
thinks you're the soft touch. If he can't get it,
I am the soft touch.
yeah.
But you can't smell, so you don't realize you smell like gravy. That's why he's over there.
Oh, okay. Okay. That might be
I
it.
smell
I
some
don't know.
gravy over here.
Man, I tell you.
The good
I had to go for a checkup this morning, and I'm telling you what, I come home and he come running up to me, got up on me and looked at me, got a funny look on his face, like, what in the world? And backed off like, Daddy, you stink. Smell like the hospital. He don't like that. It was a couple hours before he'd come around me. I said, good gracious, what have I done? He's a good little dog, though. I've never had a Schnauzer before. I can tell you what to do with a Pomeranian. I can tell you what to do with a Rat Terrier. Had both. Best dog I ever had was a Rat Terrier. But I'm telling you what, I don't know. I'm still learning Schnauzer, but this little guy right here is something else. He is the most personable little dog.
How old is
He's
he?
he's barely 3. I don't really know. We got him as a rescue. We're a failed foster. He's a failed foster. Somebody had him and tied him to the door of a what's it called, Vicky? She's listening to Max. Where they clip dogs and
Yeah, no, we'll just call it a dog pound,
Well, it wasn't a dog pound, it's a
a
groomer.
rescue pound.
Groomer.
Groomer,
Groomer.
okay.
They just tied him to the door of the groomer and just left him there. And no, we don't know what his name was. We don't know when his birthday, nothing. Well, my granddaughter worked for the groomer. So they couldn't have, that lady raises miniature schnauzers. So she couldn't have him around because they didn't know has he had his shots?
Yeah.
Has he got something? They didn't know. So anyway, she knew that my little dog had died, and she brought him home for us to foster him till they could find somebody. Well,
There
that
he is
didn't work.
still.
He did
Here
find
he is.
somebody.
2
Yeah,
years
he
later.
did.
2 years later, here he is. And he's got a home. I've spent more on this dog in 2 years than I've ever spent on every dog I've ever owned, including buying them.
You know, Phil,
His haircut costs 3 times what mine does, and I fuss every month at what my haircut cost.
Phil,
Yeah.
if he was in Airedale, we wouldn't get yelled at for not talking about model airplanes.
There you go. He's a mess.
That's a Navy joke.
Oh,
I
I
know.
got it. I know the joke. I work with a bunch Project Healing Waters with a bunch of military people. I've heard about all the jokes, and some of them I cannot repeat. Some of them I will not repeat. I don't talk like that. But boy, some of them guys pull no punches whatsoever. You're in there, and some of them, we got women in there there's women in Project Healing Waters that will blow your doggone mind.
Yeah.
But you get them out on the river and put a fly rod in their hand, you better look out. You better be on your P's and Q's because they are. We got one, Jill man, that chick is sharp. She can fish. She's as sweet as she can be, but she can fish.
Is Howard flying?
Yeah, he's been flying.
Yeah.
He's been
Man.
flying.
That's how you do it.
Howard, that thing's got an unbelievable corner.
Oh yeah.
Look at
That
those
thing-
clouds. Look at those clouds in the sky.
It's beautiful.
It's got a storm front coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's you get targets for the overhead 8, but you forget which one it is.
CRS is real, Howard. Boy, I tell you what, though, your wing over looked good.
Looks like a really pretty evening.
That thing popped
Yeah.
up as, my goodness, that's pretty.
But he's gonna have a red sunset tonight.
Them clouds are ominous. I don't know what you call them, but that's not good.
It's interesting to fly combat with a background of little choppy clouds like that. And yeah, I had a match with Richard Stubblefield one time. I had some color on my airplane and he didn't, and
Ah.
I got him.
Yeah, I tell you what, I got a buddy that's trying to sucker me into coming and flying combat with him. He's going to supply both the airplanes. He just wants me to go up and be a target for him to have something
He
to play
wants a
with.
victim.
Yeah. I told him, I'm not going to build something for you to tear up. He says, no, I'll supply both airplanes. You just come fly one of them.
Oh, he's hurting for a victim.
Well, so I go out and I decide I'm going to fly it, and we're going to fly slow combat, right? Slow combat.
That's still pretty fast, though, isn't it?
My Voodoo don't fly as fast as this slow combat plane does.
Right.
About
didn't
80
have
mile an hour.
He didn't have a 25 on it. It's about 80, 85 miles an hour. And that thing, I mean, it was screaming.
Okay, we're
Now
gonna
let-
score Howard now.
Okay. So
Well,
I
so
landed
far-
that airplane, and the darn room didn't quit spinning for about 2 minutes. Of course, we were outside, of course, but I mean, it's still, man, I got dizzy. Good gracious alive.
I wish he turned the phone sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this
But takeoff was a little abrupt.
TikTok.
Well, he's in grass. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, he is in grass.
Let's hope that he's downwind. We're gonna do the maneuvers in front of the camera.
He's holding a good line. He's just right above that fence line in his level flight. See that?
That was, oh, here we go.
He raised it up as he
He got a
Yeah,
kink and he's off angle there.
yeah.
And he missed he's off on his pullout. It wasn't.
Well, both his pullouts. One of them, I think he pulls out too high.
Maybe his lens
Especially-
has fisheye.
Got oval loops there. Oh, well, really can't judge the flight from this perspective.
No,
It's like he had his bottoms were flat. But he does hold his level flight real good.
yeah, he does. I've seen him hold his level flight at 6 inches above the ground. The propeller had to have been touching the grass and went all the way around behind this little girl because that's what she was doing. Every flight, she'd take off and put it inverted, and nobody could get her because when they go down and try to come over and go down and get their tail, they'd hit the grass and crash.
Yeah.
Howard just calmly went behind her, turned over, and came right up behind her and took a good bite out, went up. I don't remember if he did a loop or if he just went up and downs. It came back down, did it again, did it again, did it again. Got about 4 hits on her. Finally, got the knot. She's done.
Yeah.
He flew around, and that was it. He was the only one to beat her that day. But young girl, and she was flying right on the darn ground. Howard just no problem. That was 30, 40 years ago. That's 40 years ago. Huh?
Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it.
A
Okay.
good combat flyer has no problem doing that. That's the worst thing you can do if you're flying somebody that is a good combat flyer. Because they'll come right down and just walk right up your
Yeah.
I made that.
Well, I'd seen a lot of combat flyers. We had several around here that were pretty good back in the 70s and early 80s. But Howard used to come to our 4A contest and wear a clown suit. And he had a combat plane with a rudder on it, and he just wiped up.
Yeah.
That was the most amazing
Well-
flyer I'd ever seen.
Annie, Jeff, and Chewy say they're watching on their phones because the internet's out. That's the only storm damage, but a few neighbors lost roof. We live in a 55 plus manufactured home community, so mobile homes.
Wow.
Where does he live? What states he live in?
Florida.
Oh, Lord.
Did they
There
get
are
hit
places-
with the wind, with the storm, or with the tornadoes that went through?
I have no idea.
Because
Probably if it's still out, it's probably the storms that just went through because we had people come through here from Canada heading south to do power lines and stuff.
wow.
And when
And
I was
Trump
working,
offered 250 linemen free board at his hotel to work there.
Wow.
you get that?
The old saying about mobile homes is that they're tornado magnets.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if the pictures that we're getting from Asheville, I'm telling you, the storm just absolutely. There's whole areas that the houses are just, you can't even tell there was houses there. It's
They're
just,
gone. Yeah.
yeah, even the foundations are gone.
Oh.
And they
What,
said it
were they
wasn't
right
from the
along the
wind,
river?
it was the rain and the rain and everything together just took it down. I said, well, where'd all the houses go? They got to be somewhere. He said, at the bottom of this hill, about half a mile down the road, there's a gully. He said, it used to be that the gully just kept going down. He said, now it's like a big trash dump and all those houses are just in there in a pile, but they're all in one pile. Says you got about 12 houses in one pile down there. So
Were
so
those
don't know
houses
how-
built
they're
along a
go-
river or what?
it wasn't a river. It wasn't a river. It's just the storm came through there. I'm just, there's 600 people missing.
Yeah.
And they're going through that pile now, just pulling stuff out because they figured there's bodies in there. But I didn't listen. I didn't want to know the last couple of days because it
Oh,
made me
Dan
sick.
Winship.
Calling Dan Winship.
Where does Dan live? He don't live in Asheville.
No, he lives in Indiana.
Oh, okay. I one time was on that first response team that had to go to Oklahoma City, and don't ever want to do that. Still have nightmares from that.
So have you looked over any of those plan sets? No, what do you?
Yeah, I went today to try to get them copied, and the machine's down.
Oh,
But I got 4 sets of plans I want to get copied, and we'll get the Trailblazers electrical set up. I got the rest of it, but I'll go get the Trailblazers electric front end and get the I've already got the pipe. I don't have that little one you sent Buddy.
The
but
Raven?
I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a copy of that.
oh, when you see Buddy, tell him I just found about 10 more pictures of that airplane if he wants them.
Oh, okay. Well, send them to me and I'll send them to him. I got his email address now.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get a surprise guest here in a minute.
Oh,
I thought Buddy didn't want to give me his email address, but I finally got it. The problem was there's a dot in it that I didn't know was in it. Well, without putting that in there, it don't go through.
gotcha.
Are you snoring? Good gracious.
Carl's
My dog went to sleep in my lap. I don't usually do that.
Well, I wonder where Gary's at. And there's Stuart. What's up, Stuart?
Oh, not too much. Nothing much going on up here.
No flying?
No. No, I haven't been doing too much of
Cold
that.
yet?
No building?
No, I've been just taking it easy the last little bit.
Oh.
How's Carl doing?
I don't know. I don't see him.
There.
Oh, I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
Good.
Doing well.
Yeah, we went flying today with Charles and Joe and had a good day. And the wind was real calm, no wind. Sun was out, kind of humidity. Wasn't hot, just humid, and just the day was perfect.
Perfect is good.
Charles aggravate him. I want to get him to get in here once in a while. Oh, let me tell you something silly. I told y'all that I'm in that project Inland Waters with a bunch of vets. The guys, I was talking to them about some other things, and the fact that that I build models came up. He says, "Would you be interested in some old model magazines?" I said, "Well, I don't know. Depends on how old and all."
Holy smokes.
Boy, that is an old one. That thing is black and white all the way through. But that is an old
15
one.
cents.
15 cents, yeah. NRA, that's what I can't figure out. Good gracious alive. 3 aviation magazines in one. I don't know what year it's from because looks like a mouse chewed that off. And chewed the back end of it up to 1935. How about that? April of 1935. God, that's before my time. I thought I had to wait 2 years for them to invent dirt, but there was life before I came along. Good gracious. How about that? But he just said, "Hey, would you be interested in this?" I said, "Sure. How about a few more like it?" I said, "Yeah, bring them on." What the heck?
Well, you got any plans in there are going to be old time legal, you know?
And well, the plans in that one are all rubber band. In 1935, there wasn't a whole lot yet.
They didn't have gas motors then.
No, he's going to bring me some more, but I don't know. I don't know exactly when because he doesn't get to come every week. But boy, we got some people in there that are some interesting individuals. I'm telling you, some great guys, some great people, guys and girls.
You know, I think that if the cost of glow plugs keeps going up, somebody's going to come out with a conversion to convert our glow engines back to gas.
Yeah.
And I think they'll make some money doing it because when you start getting upwards $25 and more for a glow plug,
Well, what do you think a spark plug's gonna cost?
yeah, but it's not going to burn out after a few rounds.
Well, why don't you just put a Davis diesel head on something?
And sadly,
Yeah,
it's gone.
Davis is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but if you got a lathe, you could make one.
True enough. Problem is then you'll smell like diesel and nobody will hang out with you.
Oh well.
I went and bought
Spark plugs for my pickup truck, 8 spark plugs. And 8 spark plug wires. What do you reckon it cost?
$40.
Nope, more than that.
Really?
$200.
Well, about
You're
100 and a
close.
quarter.
You're close, 160. Keep in mind, my spark plug wires are only about that long. It's an LS engine, and they're only about that long. Golly molly, man, I couldn't believe it. He told me what it cost, and I was getting ready to hand him my debit card. I pulled it back and say, "What? Good grief."
Well, here's a shocker. We went out for, we did the laundry today. On the way back, went to Burger King. 2 Whoppers and 2 French fries. $20.18.
Yep.
I thought Burger King had a special where you got 2 Whoppers for $5 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're little ones.
Mm,
They're only that big.
We
around.
had the big ones. We had the big ones a few weeks ago. I got two for $5. I
Did
don't know
ya?
what's happened, but you can thank California and they're $15 an hour. You know, paying the kids $15 an hour for they got to pass it on.
And
They're
we
gonna
got,
keep the-
they want to know your name when you come to the window. So
Oh
I go,
yeah.
Ecknerwald. She said, what? I said, Ecknerwald. Oh, okay. So I get up to the window. She said, you got to pull around to the front and wait. There was nobody, there was nobody behind me. They couldn't make the hamburger right there. You know, I had to go out and wait. They brought it around.
Find people to work, Sparky.
I will not be going back there.
They can't find people to work. I got one that I stop at on the way to class on Wednesday mornings. And there was 2 people in the place. The assistant manager was doing the cooking and they had a girl at the window. So I asked the girl at the window, is my girlfriend in there today? She says, yeah, she's here. She's back in the back, but you want your meal or you want to talk to her? I said, I want to talk to her. I said, you can pour me a cup of coffee. Heck, that ain't hard. All I stopped in for was a cup of coffee. I can't eat anything got any salt in it anymore. It's dang ridiculous. But anyway, it's and everything at Burger King has salt in it. But I had a good time. I just got to say hello to her and come on out. She's a good old girl. She's about 40 years younger than I am, but she's a sweet lady. She got a daughter of her own, and she just has to do everything there herself. I cannot understand why they can't get her some help. What are you gonna do, Sparky? Paint over that again or something?
He's got a stencil that he's putting on there for paint stencil.
Yep.
Oh, so that's a paint stencil. Okay, I thought they already painted it. How about that?
See, it says Stunt Hangar on it.
Yeah, I see that. I thought that was already painted on there. I wonder what it's doing, but that's a stencil. You
Yep.
dirty old man.
Imagine what it was like for Howard when he put the paint stencils on for all those checkerboards with the waves in it.
Well, I bet that was a blast. You want to get down? Come on, hop down. Good boy. Good boy.
Okay.
Finally woke up and decided to get down. Good boy. I'll get you a treat in a minute. Yeah, Lord.
Is that a banjo hanging in the back there? No, what is that by your fireplace?
It's Um,
that's a
imagine masking that.
Popcorn popper.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
So yeah, imagine masking that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think so, Howard.
It's
That reminds me, remember the game Cubert?
oh yeah.
Did you get that idea from Cubert?
No, I got that idea from Vassarelli.
Ah,
Well,
I'll tell you
I-
one thing.
Howard, you got more patience than I got.
I I went to video the flight, but I charged the battery for the wrong camera. So
Well, we saw it from one side, but you need to take it around to the other side.
well, I don't want you to see that much.
well, your level flight was real good.
Yeah.
Boy, it
Level
was.
flight
He's right
real
on
good.
that fence line.
Goes
Every
upright and
lap.
inverted.
Yeah.
You missed your first wing over.
Oh
Your
yeah.
first swing over, you came down, you turned a little high, it appeared, to inverted. But you
Yeah.
came around, when you came back around, you missed your turn. You turned too soon. You came over and you canted over at an angle on that one. So
Yeah. If my camera worked, I could. I know what happened.
yeah.
I'm screwed.
But with all those mistakes, you did it better than I can.
Oh, thank you.
Sure presents well.
It's a pretty airplane. I'm
Yeah.
about to think about an orange and yellow. That's just pretty.
That's almost a tangerine on my screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan
Sparky.
Winship's in the house. Hey, Danny,
Yeah. Hi, Sparky.
you made it.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Yeah, I
It's
got
been a
over here.
while.
Was going to be here at 7 o'clock, and I got in there budding the drywall. Lost track of time.
Oh Lord.
My old business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did that for 40 years.
Wow.
Well,
I did one house that I redid. One room that I redid. And boy, I was glad I decided to do crown molding because I did not want to do that roof again.
upside down and backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so bad that the thing that got me, this was a house that we bought and we remodeled. And I ended up getting a lot more out of it than I expected to get. As soon as that housing glut hit a year ago where everybody was paying twice what you were asking for it, that's when I put it on the market. And that's pretty one. And I got some good money for it, but I'm gonna now he's still laying it over too far. But that house, nothing in the room that I redid, there was nothing square.
Yeah.
Nothing was square. That was the darndest mess I'd ever seen in my life.
Got a kink in the reverse wing, and he's laying it over.
Yeah.
Well, that's the mistake you find. You start hanging the sheetrock, you find out that whether it's square or not.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
this one was not. It was awful. Well, we got it done, and with the 3-piece crown molding, I get elaborate with the woodwork. Now I take it as easy as I can with plaster, but the woodworking I got a little carried away, and it turned out really nice.
What's that yellow thing, Danny?
Yeah, I was gonna ask him that.
What?
You guys will be disappointed in me.
It's upstairs.
Oh no, a radio plane.
Yeah. Good job. This here's a pod. This test bed piece for I was going to make a mold that goes in the autoclave, and the idea behind this is just the pot and the whole everything. This is a precursor to a control line pod.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So, yeah, since I'm on here, let me say something. briefly here. I won't eat up too much time. Now, I went to the Nats and the World Championships with 3 cameras, and it was probably 15, 20 years since I was messing with these cameras. So I had a newer version of camera, so it took me a little bit to get used to it. So I had 128 gigs in each camera on memory card. So on the camera, it says I've got 999 pictures left. So I never really kept track of how many I took. Each camera had over 5,000 pictures on it. And some of these photos were actually small movie clips. So I get home, and I promised Matt Colton that I'd send him these pictures, but I got home and I plugged them into the computer. And basically, when they started to download and I tried to process them, it pretty much locked up. This computer's too old. So eventually, I'll get these pictures to Pampa, and everybody can actually have them or whatever. Now, some of them I might be able to edit. I need to get another computer to edit them. And so I haven't forgot about them. They're on the memory card there. So anyway, they'll be forthcoming. It really wasn't something that was meant to be on time. Now, Sparky was doing the streaming. I know Charles was there taking pictures at the World streaming or had videos after the fact. These photos were meant to be basics, sort of distributed in the newsletter after the fact. So I'll get them out there, but I'm looking at a computer. It's probably going to take $1,500 worth of computer and software to get where we need to be. So
Hey, you get what you pay for.
yeah,
You get it when you get it.
yeah, that's right.
Dan, are you running Windows 10 or 11?
No, it's an Apple. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I used to run Windows, and I had Photoshop Elements and Photoshop, Dreamweaver for websites, all these different things. And then I switched over to Apple, and I wish I would have never done that, but it was not that it was bad. It was an extra learning curve for me. So I've got all these pictures, so I'll get them out there. I need to go to the camera shop and just have them burn these images off my SD card and have them put on a dump them on a website somewhere or a hard drive or CD-ROMs or something.
Flash drive.
But I've been busy. I worked at a composite shop probably for 5-6 months. Did all their woodworking for them. So that was full time. That was 40 hours a week, and learned a lot. So I'm taking a break right now, trying to get the house fixed up. And I've caught, I don't know, Sparky will tell you, probably 20 different projects in this garage. So it's like the skunk works in here right now. So I'm trying to redesign some molds. I was going to make carbon fiber bell cranks. Instead of molding each one individually, I was going to make them to where they had the fork in them. So I was going to lay up slabs of carbon fiber pre-preg, and basically it would be a top and a bottom, and that would be your fork. So you glue the two halves together like that.
Show them your template.
Well, yeah, the template, if I can find it, I got it buried out here. But basically, I'll show you what I've done to lay up a bell crank. So the way it's going to be done, these are strips of aluminum. I think it's 90 thousandths thick. So you set this on plate glass, and then you mold your carbon fiber over it like this in one big sheet. So this is the center of the bell crank. As it comes off the plate here and it comes out, it drops down, and that's what creates the fork. So you take a sheet of carbon bagged down over a form like this, and then you flip it. So then you bring the two pieces together, and that's your fork. And of course, then you have to put in a button with an oil light bushing. But by doing that, you can make any size bell crank you want. You can make 3 inch, 3.5, 3 1/4, whatever, by bagging it. Now, once you get this stuff bagged up and you glue the sheets together, then you take them to the laser cutter or the water jet cutter, and they program and they water jet cut all the bell cranks out of the sheet.
Yeah.
So if everything works out all right, JT Composites will bag this down in an autoclave, and then the water jet cutter will do their thing, and the only thing I'll do is glue it together and put the hardware on it. But
Cool.
I got it around here somewhere. It's a mock-up, but it's in a bag buried somewhere. But that's the gist of it. Been messing with these things, carbon landing gear, and some of the molds. I was going to redesign it to make this a little bit thinner. I can still make it a little bit lighter.
Sell stuff again, Dan?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you gonna start? Are you gonna be able to sell stuff again?
Well, that's the idea. If I can actually cut down the labor. When I used to make the bell cranks, I'd make them one by one, and it took me 20 minutes to lay up one bell crank.
Ah,
And then I
yeah,
had
that's
to go back and make the bushings and everything. Deflash it. So it was an involved process. With this process here, I'll make these here in the shop, and if I get the stress test right and they come out right, and I can make them work, and then I'll turn them over to the people with the autoclave and sort of mass produce them. So by doing it this way, I can make hundreds of them relatively quick because I'm not doing the work. I'm just jobbing it out.
Sounds neat.
Jobbing it out to the autoclave people or the water jet people.
Well, let us know when you get them
done. Because if you think they're right, I want a couple of them. I know your work.
Well, they'll be
I still-
right.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I've still got a couple of your old bell cranks. I bought several of them when you were doing them before. I've still got one or two left, 4-inch.
Okay.
I kind of save those for the projects that are special.
Yeah, don't save them. Use them. I'm not dead yet. I'll make you another one.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just been fiddling around out here. I got to do about 25 or 30 of these vents. I had to do some stain on a guy, so he needed some stain matching. So I came up with that. There's there's a lot of stuff going on.
I remember when you were a young man with black hair. I remember that black hair.
See that matches my shirt.
See mine? It's gone.
Dan, you got to be around here for a while tonight.
Yeah, I'll be on till it's over. I wasn't on here for a long time because I was working. When I come home from work, I'd eat dinner and I'd sit in that chair. And I'd last to about 6:30 and I'd fall asleep and then I go to bed.
I'm gonna fly stunt until it gets dark, but after that, I got something to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Well, that's because Charles ran it so late.
well, yeah. But since I haven't been working at the shop, I took some time off. So I've been staying up later. So it takes a while, but after a week or two, you just keep stretching it out till finally, you're getting to bed at a normal time, which for me used to be 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So
Yeah, that's reasonable.
But see, you got to remember, when Charles ran it so late, it was 9 o'clock his time.
Right.
It was 12 o'clock my time, but it was 9 o'clock his time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful he did it. He did it for a long time, did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't make everything work for everybody. It's just a matter of compromise. And I got on a couple times with Charles. You know, so it's just you got to compromise. So
Well, that's why we don't hardly ever get anybody from England or Europe, because it's middle of the night for them.
yeah,
You know,
I had my phone go off the other night because I got up to go to the bathroom. It's like 2 a.m. and somebody emailing me from China wanting me to sell me carbon fiber.
oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to sell me carbon fiber tow for the same price I paid 30 years ago for it.
Wow.
And somebody said, it was on a YouTube channel that talked about the Chinese for the first time. We're going to start selling carbon fiber now. That's something they didn't export. And they're starting to get into this game where they're going to be exporting carbon. And that could put a big dent in the American market. We'll see. But it might be like everything else. They flood the market super cheap, but they were offering it to me so cheap that it made me wonder if it was really the right stuff.
How much a creel?
Basically, what they're coming up with, he couldn't come with 48K. See, I had 48K. He was offering, see, what the heck was it? 25K or something like that, which I'd have to double it, which would have been no big deal, just loop it over. And it was coming out to 50 pounds for like $500. So we're talking every 10 pounds was $100 of tow. And I don't know. I asked him, I said, how you shipping it? He said either FedEx or UPS. Now, I know some of them over there that do the DHL in Asia or whatever.
They do a global type shipping.
Yeah. So if I remember right, I can't be exact, but I bought 50 pounds of carbon, intermediate modulus, 48K out of Zoltec, between $500 and $600 a long time ago. So what they were offering was, if I remember right, really close to what I paid back then for.
See that paint coming under the cloud there at Howard's Ranch? Down. I said he'd have a red sunset.
Howard's got a heck of a setup,
Doesn't he though?
man.
It is.
Paul Walker said Howard didn't like to fly when it's a little windy out of a certain direction because he's got a building somewhere around that circle. Paul Walker said it didn't bother him one bit. He flew there anyway. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but that's Paul Walker.
Yeah.
I bet Joe Gilbert could fly there with the wind.
Yeah. I could fly too, but you wouldn't want to watch it. So, but yeah. So, hey, Sparky, when's your completion date for this?
On this? I don't know.
You think you'll fly the Caramba before this winter?
Well, first contest will be isolated for it if it flies good, and I'll fly it before the end of the year.
That's good.
I'd say there's what?
Do you miss sanding between all those I-beam ribs?
Not at all. It'll sand out real quick because it's a foamy.
Yeah.
No, he misses it. He'll have to, the next plane will have to be a daggum I-beam with extra ribs in it.
I got one already. It's all framed up. All I got to do is cover it.
Uh-oh. See, I knew he couldn't do without it for long. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
You know what? If I was as good at it as he is, I'd have the addiction too.
This is my fifth airplane this year. Well, fifth stunter this year. I've done other things where I've built the flight streak and I rebuilt Steve's whatever that thing is, Spectre. So actually 7 airplanes this year. And then I got one in bones, like I said.
Well, then you got Stunt University out there now.
Where?
That's Steve said. You said he goes to stunt school.
Oh, yeah.
Now. Steve calls your shop going to stunt school or something like that.
Yeah.
That was Marcel.
Marcel? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you went to Triple Tree, because that's what we call Thursday at Triple Tree in the spring.
Yeah.
We have what's called stunt school, and
Stunt camp.
Well, the T-shirt said stunt. The first ones said stunt school, but I think they call it stunt camp now. You're right.
Yeah, I
But
got a
they,
stunt camp shirt.
Yeah, they got a lot going on. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how it's going to go now. I don't think Randy is in shape to do it anymore, but I hear David Fitzgerald stepped up and did it this year.
I wonder how that place looks. That's North Carolina, isn't it?
Yeah, that's South Carolina, but from what I understand, it was fine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I talked to Will Davis yesterday or day before. He was talking about going down and asked me to come down. I told him I will if I can, but I've got a lot to do here, and I just couldn't get it all done. I still got to mow my grass. I got to mow my grass tomorrow. I'm gonna take my wife out, and then we'll come home, mow the grass, and then tomorrow night I'm probably gonna crash. And I got a buddy that's asking me, "What are you gonna do Sunday? What are you gonna do Sunday?" After this week, I'm gonna lay around here, get me a big iced tea or a lemonade, and sit down and do a whole lot of nothing. I might watch TV all day, and I never do that, but I just might learn.
I like
pooped.
I like to sit there and watch TV.
Well, I don't get to do it very often, but when I get the chance, I never did it when I was younger, but I can sit there for a couple of hours and watch TV and just relax and not think anything at all about it. But I can't do it like some of them do, where they sit there all day. I just can't do that.
Well, you got to get up and go to the bathroom, Phil.
Oh man, that's every 20 minutes. What are you talking about?
Let me get a consensus from you guys on this desktop. 1968. I'm going to share some pictures, and I want to know which one you think I ought to use.
Go for it.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't turn it on. Flip it off. Yeah.
All right. Here.
Hey, that's me. That's me right there, sitting in my chair.
All right. There's what happened?
I see Bart.
Hello, Bart Simpson.
Okay.
I see Bart.
That's not Bart. That's
Homer.
not Bart. That's Homer Simpson.
And Homer. There's Bart. We can put him on the nose.
Yep.
I'm looking for nose art for this. You can put that guy on the nose.
Do you have any pictures of Bart in lingerie, like a pinup wall on your nose?
No.
Yeah, he could be like one of those World War II girls.
Exactly.
I could put Homer on the nose.
Guess who saw me getting it?
Yeah.
I'm favoring this one because he's painting.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I do too. That's pretty neat.
You could take the sticker where he's
Now,
painting.
that one I'd like to have. That one I'd like to have. That's cool.
You could do both of those, Sparky. You could take the mouse or whatever that is in a white painting and airbrush some yellow paint like it's going towards the mouse or something.
There's that one. Oh,
I wouldn't use that one.
Which one is it?
The one that says YouTube. I wouldn't use that one.
trying to
That's
scroll.
a good, that's a good shirt.
Hey, that's cool. That'd look good on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that would.
So Sparky, when you get these pictures or these whatever these Bart Simpson, how do you put it on decal paper or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna decal it.
Okay.
So which one do you think was the best?
The one where
I like that last one where he's falling.
Yeah. The fallen
Yeah,
or the spray painting?
Either one of those two.
is that
Flip
a
a coin
Dove bar?
between those two.
Is that a Dove bar?
Okay. So we want this one. Let's see. Share it again. Share. And we're gonna do this one. Can you see it?
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah.
I might have to close this out. Oh, wait a minute. You may not share. Screen sharing has failed to start. The window you selected is invalid. Okay. So let's close this out. Let's close
I
this.
think if you did the one where he's falling and you just had a coming off his mouth as he went.
All right. So let's see. It was PNEG. Oh, we got to go to desktop 1968. PNEG. Let's see. LMNOP. Here we go. 2. Open that one up. No, that's okay. Here we're gonna go through this. So we're gonna vote on this now, which is the best. Didn't show up, did it?
Nope.
What the hell?
Now
I'd
you
say
got something.
Coming.
There you go.
Okay.
Bart in the spotlight.
Okay, we got that one. We got the slingshot guy.
No. No.
Homer.
There you go.
Maybe.
I vote for that one.
Maybe.
So that's the spray paint guy. The mouse is gonna go on the wing, I think. Come on now. There we go.
I like that one.
yeah. Yeah.
And just
That's going to take considerably more work to do than the other one, than the spray paint guy.
Yeah.
I can do the spray paint guy relatively quickly.
If you do the spray paint guy, take your airbrush and mask off a little V and make it look like he's spray painting. Show something coming out of that can.
Yeah. What color? Yellow?
Whatever goes with the plane. You know?
Red, I guess. Red or orange.
Yeah. So I think the spray paint or the falling one, that's one of those. I like them both.
See, with the spray paint guy, it has a red background. I'd have to go into my Inkscape and eliminate the background and do away with the shadow and all, just a whole lot of work. This is a PNG, so it's when you see black, that's clear.
Okay.
All I got to do is crop them, size them, and print them.
Okay. So what do you print them on? Decal paper, special paper?
Yeah, decal, water slide decal paper.
And you're printing it with just a laser printer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my my ink today. There we go.
Does it take special ink?
This printer takes special ink. I had printed a bunch of decals for John, and it kind of sucked up all the ink. You know, when you do color decals, uses up quite a bit of the.
Yeah.
They sell you the printer for $10 and then sell you the ink for $50 or $100.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ink don't last long.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it'd be cool if the spray paint guy or the one falling. Uncle Jimby up there, I would have never dreamed that a Taz airplane like he had would look as good as it did. But I got looking at that, and the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. The Taz, or I don't know what he called that airplane, but it was nice.
It's a good monocoat job.
Yes. Yeah, it was a sharp airplane. It was different, Well done.
Plenty of spray shine.
Yeah, around the monocoat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that plug there, I use a spray shine on that plug. Two-part this Sherwin-Williams automotive stuff, But it went on super glossy. I mean, it was shiny. I don't care how shiny it is. You still have to wet sand it, block sand it, and buff it if you want that glass look. So, the spray shine's good, but I can tell the difference when a spray shine hadn't been wet sanded and buffed. So I've never been able to eliminate a wet sand and a buff to make it look right.
As soon as I get all the trim on this, I'm going to weigh this, put it all together and weigh it and see where I'm at and see what I have. My target weight is going to be no more than 64 ounces. So if I'm at 62, it's going to have to be a dope clear. If I'm at 61, I can probably squeak a little urethane on it. But if I squeak urethane on it, it'll probably still go over.
And that's just the way it is.
Urethane is heavy.
Yeah, this stuff here.
That's finished one, right?
Yeah, this stuff here. Let's see, where is it? So this is a clear coat.
Yeah, I got the same can in the garage.
Okay, so you take this with the activator, which is the activator is temperature
1, I think.
So what I want to do is experimenting with different hardeners, the activators. They got fast, medium, and slow. I got a little can of fast, which allows me to mix the two together.
Let me tell you a little story about that hardener. I have that same can of paint in my garage. I have the same small can of hardener in the garage. I used it in 2004 on my Thunderbolts. I closed the can of hardener. That hardener is still good. It hasn't hardened. But you buy that can of hardener you got there, the minute you open it, it's done. I don't care whether you put it in the refrigerator or not. It'll harden up like a rock.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to spray the whole gallon on that airplane.
Yeah.
That's a spirit there.
I hope it's a big airplane because it's.
I was joking, Sparky, about it. Don't even weigh the thing. Just keep spraying it.
Still got clear left.
Danny knows when to quit painting when the airplane bends the stand to touch the ground.
See, there's the old lumber wagon right there.
Well, I remember spraying one and one of the guys come over and said, I had just taken it and put it on its wheels, put it together enough to put it on its wheels so I'd have something for it to set on for me to sand it. And Tom came over and picked it up and said, Phil, I think you kind of became one with a spray gun, and set it back down. That was one of my early attempts. I learned from that you don't it's not a case of how much paint can you put on it, it's how little paint can you put on it.
Yeah. It's like the guy in the composite shop. He said, well, I was talking about the belt crank molds. He said, well, how much carbon is it going to take? I said, think of it like Victoria's Secret. The less you get, the more you pay. So we want them light. I said, it's not going to take much carbon. It's just enough to, to do a 150, 200-pound pull test. That's all I need. So less is more. Look at Howard. He's still out there flying.
Well, I have an electrical problem, so I had to quit.
Really?
Yeah.
Problem, what happened?
I turn on the switch and it doesn't go. And it's been a problem. I switched ESCs and fixed some other stuff, and I still have the problem. So I guess the good news is it's not the ESC. It's somewhere in my.
Yeah.
All those electrons leaked out.
It's
intermittent. When you plug yours up, do you have a resistor in there and a button where it pulls the bat? Well,
no.
What? You just plug yours direct up, and you get an arc every time. It's probably right there.
A little one.
Come on, Howard. 6 cells don't make a little one. You get a.
Depends on the ESC. With the Castle, is it Castle that makes the ESC? It's a pretty big one, but with this Jedi, it's pretty small.
Okay.
So I've gotten away with it quite a bit.
I put the resistor system in mine that I saw Igor show it online one time, and I went home and made one and put it in. I'm using it in everything, 5 or 6 cells. It has a shortened resistor in it. You just wait for the ESC to initialize, then go ahead and plug it in. You never get an arc. And I haven't had that problem that you're having again since. But now next time I go out, I may have it again,
Yeah, the thing one worries about, and I don't know which ESCs are like this, but when you turn it on, some ESCs will count cells.
Yeah.
So they'll automatically know how many cells there are, and if they count too fast, they might quit counting before the voltage comes up. So I'm a little shy of the resistor, and you don't really need it on this bin.
But if you don't need it, you don't need it. That's some complication you get rid of. So,
yeah.
Well, maybe I do, but so far.
The new spin must be better because my old spins, I used it.
The old spin's what?
Spin Pro.
We use the Spin Unpro.
Where's the Spin Pro made at? The Jedi.
Czech Republic.
Okay. Is there any speed controls, or is there any stuff made in the States for that?
Well, Castle, I guess. I don't know where Castle makes theirs.
China.
China.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything's made in China.
The thing you look for is a quick response to throttle changes for the active timer, and I don't know anybody who's auditioned different ESCs to see their step response to an input change.
Did you pay attention to the Chinese ESCs?
Huh?
Did you pay attention to the Chinese ESCs?
No, I didn't pay attention to anything hardly. I just used these spins. I had some cap.
The Chinese ESC was really working.
Yeah, that young kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
The young kid.
the world champion. Yeah, is he using a spin?
No.
Okay.
Chinese cop.
Okay.
Yeah, that I know what you're talking about. That speed control, it was like a hyperactive old Fox 35 2.4 brake. It was working. Him and his dad, I don't know their names. I can't remember that, but he's a young kid with lightning reflexes. But that airplane was come out on and off unbelievably quick. And
Was too. Her and her dad were. That's the two that amazed me the most was the young kid and the girl. But man, their stuff just worked so well.
yeah,
Those are Chinese knockoffs of Yatsenko's too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they called it I've forgotten what it was called, but Type F. I remember hers was a Type F. The sixth, I asked about that and they said, well, it's the sixth version. So F is the sixth letter. So I said, oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
I understand what you're doing. But she said, oh yeah, they're well further down the line than that now, but this is what I fly. And they don't have to pay $2,000 for theirs. Theirs are, if they make the team, theirs are supplied. But they've also spent the 30 days before the Worlds practicing every day.
when I was flying advanced, I thought for me to go to expert, it's going to take unbelievable amount of time. Almost have to be full time to ever do any good. And I never wanted, with a wife and kids and a full time job, I never wanted to make that commitment. But the people at that level, it's unbelievable the skill they have and the amount of time they put in it. It's and really people like Billy Werwidge or Hunt, Fancher, Fitzgerald, anybody at that level, they're basically using, they might have a full time job, but they're probably working another 40, 50 a week on just the airplane. So it's a commitment on top of a boatload of talent.
What I remember from seeing you fly, sir, you were pretty talented yourself.
Me, I was just a hack. I was never any good. I was just a
Bull.
mediocre advanced flyer.
Bull.
Yeah,
You were not mediocre.
yeah.
You
But
are very, I've forgotten the word. I have trouble coming up with words sometimes. You're selling yourself well short there, Dan.
Humble.
Humble, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the truth or not, but Gary sure doesn't seem impressed.
Oh, Gary, you take so much flack, brother.
Yeah.
Gary's cool. That's
So,
funny.
I'm
How's
jealous.
Opal?
I wish I could sleep like that.
Gary, how's Opal doing?
Serious. That's you be thankful. That's to nod off that'd be nice.
Yeah.
well, that's what happened to me. I'd come home from work, sit in the chair. My wife would be there talking to me. The next thing I know is midnight, and I'm sitting there all asleep. I wake up. I don't know if it's morning, night, or what.
I've
Yeah.
done that. Yeah.
That's all right. I've more than once finally got up out of the chair, turned the computer off, and it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And the guys are still on here talking.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened
Golly.
to Steve. Steve was on here a little bit ago. I don't see him now.
The other Steve?
From Las Vegas.
Oh.
We got the real Steve. What more do we need?
The original Steve. That's what you need.
Yeah,
There's
the original Steve's
Steve,
pretty
and then
cool.
there's the Steve from Las Vegas.
Original Steve.
I don't know the
We need-
Steve from Las Vegas.
We need the nighttime moderator in the next 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
he'll be around.
Sparky, you got to get off here to watch the Blues game, right?
No,
They're playing Vegas tonight at 9:00.
I don't care. I don't watch that stuff.
And I live and die by that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
not impressed.
I used to, but not much anymore.
Hockey is the only thing I care about. I don't do any other, no football, baseball, basketball. I don't care about anything but hockey.
Where you live?
I'm in St. Louis.
I didn't think St. Louis was a big hockey town. Good
We won the
gracious.
Stanley Cup in 2019.
Wow.
2019, my God.
Well, that was our first one, so we're still all high on it.
Okay, well, we have a team in Greensboro, but I've been to watch it a few times, but
The Blues are a big deal in St. Louis.
yeah, I used to be a big roller skater when I was a kid, but I got on the ice and fell a couple of times, and it not only hurts like heck, but then if you lay there, the cold gets to you too. It's a double ooch.
Yeah,
No, this ain't for me.
I
No
played ice
thanks.
hockey since I was a little kid. I still play like 3 times a week in the morning
And
with
you got all your
the
teeth? My word.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're a
That's
hell of an athlete. I mean, anybody could get out there and skate sideways, forward and backwards, pass a puck and all that. They're very underrated for as far as athleticism.
That's
But
true.
It's easy when you're as skinny as those pros are. You ought to see a guy with my gut do it. That's more impressive.
Yeah, you're a bigger target though.
But like I'm in my third trimester and I'm still out there doing it.
oh Lord. So you need to come to the nationals next year where we'll indoctrinate you into the Belly Brothers.
Oh gosh, maybe it'll be gone by that time next year.
I hope mine will be, but I wouldn't bet on it.
What is Howard doing? He's
I
creeping.
was trying to figure that out too.
Huh? Oh, I'm bringing stuff in to the shop from the circle. I'm trying to
hey, Howard, I still get a chuckle out of that conversation we had at the Nats and the Worlds when you were talking about all your composite experience.
Oh, Kevlar stuff.
I went into work and I started telling some of your stories. We were laughing.
Well,
I said, you won't believe this guy I met. He was an engineer from Boeing, but listen to all these screw ups they had over there.
Hey, the screw ups I had.
Hey, Howard, when they made the Horton 229 model at Boeing, why weren't you there to show them how to pull a canopy?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
They had no clue how to pull a canopy. They put a sheet of Lexan in the oven and pulled it out with gloves and tried to force it down over the buck. They didn't have a frame on it. It was a joke. They tried 3 times. They finally just gave up and made a piece canopy.
Hey, Sparky, that's still better than Bad Chad putting it on Jolene's barbecue grill.
Yeah, that was, he watched John and I, our video, and figured he could mold a windshield the way that we molded a canopy. I know he did.
This guy, he went out and got Jolene's barbecue grill and tinted it up and put this big, huge piece of Lexan in a back window, and he fired it up, and they went to lunch or something, and it
burned the house down.
Yeah. You got to be able to laugh at your mistakes. God, I made a bunch of them. I remember the first time I started cutting foam wings, I got my foam cutter all set up and got my templates, and I've cut 1,000 wings in my sleep before. In a matter of an hour, I'm knee deep in scrap. So it takes a while.
I'd still like to get plans to that foam cutter you made. I don't even cut foam wings much anymore, but that thing was slick.
Hey, Phil, how
Yes,
did
sir.
you make it to the Nats or the World's out here? And I missed you. I didn't get to see you.
I saw you. You were just busy talking to other people every time I saw you.
So
I walked over there, but you were talking to a couple people.
Oh,
And then somebody came up and started talking to me, and I ended up going the other way. But I tried to talk to you 2 or 3 times in the building. I was over
Oh.
talking to Les McDonald, and you were talking to, I can't remember who. CRS is real, brother. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Can't
So,
remember shit.
But
so if you're at Muncie, you're an hour and a half from my house.
oh my goodness.
So if anybody gets to Muncie and they want to come over, give me a call. Come in the shop, and I'll tell them everything I know. It'll take about 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, y'all believe that a lot. I'll show you some pictures of some stuff he's made. Yeah, you'll believe that. Mhm.
But yeah, the foam cutter, I did some videos, and it's not explained really well as far as the measurements. In the foam cutter set up to do a stunt wing. It'll do an RC wing too in that parameter. I made one to do big wings for like RC gas burners and stuff. So I enlarged the foam cutter to where it would do, oh, I don't know, maybe 50 to 60 inch panels. I can't remember, but they were big.
That would be a big wing.
Yeah. So you're talking, a big RC wing, 8 foot, 9 foot, but it worked. I just had to get some rigidity into the cutter so it didn't twist or whatever. But that's probably something I need to do is put the measurements out there.
Is this the machine that does both sides of the core at the same time? I think I've seen in your videos. Okay.
Yeah. So it's all mechanical. I mean, there's no electronics to it other than the hot wire. But I'm not very good at conveying information. I've thrown a lot of stuff out there, on YouTube, and some of it's pretty clear, but a lot of it probably needs more explanation.
There's only one bad thing with your foam cutter. It takes up too much space.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, I had it stored in a guy's barn, and I got it back, but there it is sitting on top of a bench or a tub. There's the cutter. There's some wings, but there's the stunner and primer.
But I saw you use that thing one time. You had a video one time of it actually working, and he puts the foam in there, and he just kind of lets it go, and it just kind of the weight's just kind of.
Yeah, it's.
And I've said, wow.
Let's see that canopy on that airplane, Dan.
Well, the canopy's not on the airplane.
Uh-huh.
I had it almost ready to glue on, and then I didn't have enough detail in it. So yeah, I almost had it glued on, but there's the pilot for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Now you talk about a slow builder. That airplane's 20 years in the making.
Me and Dan get along good, I could tell.
Yeah. It lost probably about 3 or 4 ounces because it was basically just kiln dried for 20 years.
Nice.
I didn't want, when John Jordan was living, I didn't want him to feel bad. So I always made things extra slow. So Sparky was the one forging ahead. John and I'd sit on our easy chairs, dilly-dally around on little projects we never got done. So,
I used to crack the whip when I go over to John's. Come on, John, we're going to work all day. He hated that.
yeah. My problem, I like to do too many different things.
Yeah, me too. I have the same problem. Look here, Dan. Here's one of the things I've been doing here lately. Well, I've uncovered a little bit, but little fly rod.
Nice.
And it's just
got cork seal on that grip?
Yep.
You carved that yourself?
No, that's it's a wind grip, just like a golf club grip.
Do you make the pole yourself and the reel yourself?
No, I didn't make the reel. You
Well,
think I'm
then
nuts?
that ain't the same as Mother.
Well, it ain't the same as modeling, but you know.
Hey,
But
Phil,
yes, sir.
you know who loves to do fly fishing and builds rods and stuff? A guy by the name of Steve Starr. He won
I've
the
heard that name before.
Yeah, he won advance in the Nats
Yeah. Okay.
with the Starship, but he lives 10 minutes from me.
Well, I'll have to try to meet him next time I'm up that way. Then.
Yeah, if you ever get down here and you're floating around this area, give me a call. Come over and I'll call him. He likes to restore old radios, old motorcycles, antique stuff. He was a welder for Rolls-Royce, aerospace stuff, nickel, titanium. And
Wow.
Gotta get him flying again.
I know I've tried. He said,
Oh.
no. And I said, I tell you what, why don't you just get into classic or old time or something? Because he likes old stuff. I said, let's build some old timers or classic stuff and fly the nostalgia. And he did say, yeah, I could see myself doing that. But yeah, he showed me some of these fishing rods that he made. They're fantastic. And he fishes the creeks around here. He goes up and down these creeks and with the waders catches smallmouth, anything that'll jump on the pole, you know.
That's what that rod's for. Wading creeks. Yeah, it's just a 6-foot rod.
Yeah, come on out. We'll throw some steak on the grill. Take you to Steve. We'll wade down some creeks. We'll talk about airplanes.
Sounds like a blast. I'd like maybe next summer we can do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. There ain't much I like better than talking toy airplanes and flying toy airplanes and eating steak. You covered my bases there. See, you're still a slim fella. I don't know. Ever since the last 6-8 months, ever since they put me in the hospital, that darn gut just keeps growing. I got to figure out how to get rid of this darn thing. I have never in my life had a gut, and all of a sudden I got one. I want it gone.
Yeah.
Girl at the gym tells me to do planks. I said, okay, how many do I do? Because I'm doing 5 a day for 2 minutes a piece. She said, 2 minutes? Nobody can hold a plank 2 minutes. You got a stopwatch? So I dropped and did a plank for 2 minutes, and she says, you ain't right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Everybody's got a six pack. It's just a little bit deeper, you know.
I don't have no 6-pack.
Now I got a keg.
I got the whole darn keg.
Yeah.
So,
man, I tell you,
I
we got a
seen-
kid down the road. We got a kid down the road down here that he's got into running. He's getting ready to join. This is his senior year in high school, and he's getting ready to join the I think he says he's going in the Coast Guard this summer. This kid runs and he's got an 8-pack. This kid is put together. And I didn't realize that he's got a sister that's as pretty as he is, well built. Man, I'm telling you what, I don't know what they have to eat down there, but they doing something right. But
yeah,
this kid's fast. This
yeah,
kid's fast. He'll run the neighborhood. It's half a mile around, and he'll run the neighborhood. Now he's not doing anything Olympic grade, but he'll run a half a mile in 4 minutes. Now I remember when the guys finally broke the first 4-minute mile, so he's only running half the speed of the racers. But
yeah.
4 minutes to run that half a mile, it ain't dead flat.
Right.
He's hauling. He's doing well. He's a tough kid, I'm telling you. And I went and watched a soccer match. Boy's got a right foot on him, I'm telling you.
A lot of people don't realize it, but this stunt event, precision aerobatics, especially on the expert level, it takes a huge amount of stamina.
Oh,
And
it
I
does.
remember Fitzgerald at the Nats, maybe, I can't remember, 96, 98, maybe 2000 somewhere. He'd get up at the Nats and he'd run every morning, exercise.
Mhm.
And I'm not in the best shape. I'm not in the worst shape, but I'll tell you what, if I was going to compete, I'd have to do something as far as physical, because when you get out there and you start spinning around flight after flight, and at the gnats, it's always like 85, 90 degrees, and Sparky will tell you, you go out there and you put in 2 or 3 flights and you're climbing into the chair, but it takes a lot physical stamina to fly flight after flight to get the proficiency to be competitive. And
That's the
everybody
truth.
everybody goes out
Speed
there and
truth.
they fly 3 flights,
You're done.
round 1, 2, and 3, but they don't understand how many hundreds or thousands of flights it takes to get that 1, 2, 3 flight and that score. The same thing with gymnasts. I mean, they flop up and down the mat, but it's 6 hours a day, 8 hours of practice, every day.
Well, I'll tell you what, I going along what you're saying there, I finally got to see, and now her name went out of my head, the Olympic girl that's so good, the goat. She's a little bitty thing, and she's jumping 12 feet in the air.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
She is. She's something.
Got
But
muscles to lead.
she earned that title, the GOAT, because she is the greatest of all time. She's amazing. I'd like to get to meet her. I saw her. I'm 4 feet from her, but I didn't get to meet her. But
Len
she,
Burrell.
huh?
Lenny came in.
Yeah, Lenny's here.
Hi, guys.
But I watched her at an exhibition, and she is absolutely amazing. All those girls are. Ain't no bigger in a minute, and they go do those flips and flops and land, and they don't just do it once or twice. Like you say, they practice 6, 8 hours a day. It's incredible. But
I want to be good at anything. It takes a huge commitment.
Yeah,
I don't care what it is, whether it's model airplane flying, whether it's athletics, anything. If you want to be good at it, you better get committed.
I went out to fly the SP-11 the other day, my wife and I, because the last showing I had with the guys, I didn't do it. I wasn't happy with the way things turned out. So Vicky went out and launched it for me, 4 flights. And I thought I'll give it 5 minutes in between to cool off with the covers open and close it back up and fly it again. And I'm telling you what, that 4th flight, when it was over, I was pooped. But I'm going to some longer lines. I've been flying that thing on 58s, and I'm going to 63s. We'll see if I can't get that thing out there let it fly a little faster, but me moving a little slower, because that thing's about to pull my arm off.
I got a stunt question.
Go for it.
These little ferrite toroids that are on the cable going to the ESC?
Yeah.
Are they necessary for control line, or they're to keep jive out of the radio or something?
I thought that's what they were for, is to keep receiver interference down.
That's what I thought too.
So
toroidal, you talking about the toroidal transformers, little round magnet looking thing, and it's the wires wrapped around it.
Yeah, here's let's see. Okay,
toroidal ring.
Here, where is it? There it is.
I think that's for radio, because we don't use it.
Okay, yeah, and I'm fixing to cut the end off and put a new end on it, because the connector's bad, I think. So while I'm at it, I wonder if I can take the toroid off.
How many wraps of wire are on the toroid?
I think it's 6, isn't it?
Is there a secondary winding on the toroid?
No.
No, then that's
4.
just an RF
Just
choke.
4 times around.
That's just an RF choke.
Yeah. I would leave enough wire that you can put it back, but I would think about taking that, because that little booger's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
I've got one's got 2 of them on it.
There's a chance that some noise could interfere with the timer, I suppose.
Well, if you start using a radio to control your throttle, so you can shut it down and land when you want.
Mhm.
Seeing as that I think is legal now, you'd want to leave the toroid there because you've got an RF link.
Yeah, but the thing about that is, I think the noisiest thing in even a radio system are the servos.
Well, that's true.
They're
That's
what
true,
makes
but there's
they're what
still,
makes the noise. If you're not using a servo, I doubt you're going to have any problem.
I still would be hesitant to just do it without testing it out first.
Well, I agree with you there.
It's hard to
I was
push
How
on.
much money you have?
cable through the doodad, so maybe I can't do it anyhow.
I'm gonna vote for Howard to cut that thing off there and report back to us next Monday.
There you go.
I think it'd be more exciting if you tried it live on the Zoom.
Yeah. Keep trash can nearby.
Get the fire extinguisher.
No, it wouldn't have anything to do with the fire, but it.
Well, can't take it off. It's stuck.
I use them on my ham radio equipment to keep RF out of the lines.
Yeah, that's what we
You
use.
got an audio line or things like that, keep the hash off of it. And they work real good. And you can also use them to change the impedance, not the impedance. Yeah, I guess that's what you'd call it.
Yeah, it is impedance.
Yeah. So, they have their use, but they are heavy. And if you don't need them, if you really don't need them and you've tested it out, because you don't want to get it at contests where you got lots of RC airplanes flying around just down the way from you, polluting the air with all kinds of RF hash, and you're over on the control line side, and you get hit with an R, and you got an active RC system controlling your throttle. You know what I'm trying to say.
He doesn't have a radio in it, so it should not matter.
It shouldn't matter, but if he's got what I'm saying, now that it's legal to have a throttle control, a radio linked to a throttle control, then you've got a radio and a receiver in it.
And nobody's gonna do that.
All right, I got a question, Sparky.
Okay.
Jordan, I see Jordan Air written on the airplane. Is that in reference to John?
Yes.
Okay. I'm doing an airplane now that I'm putting Friends Remembered. That's what I'm calling it. And it's just gonna be a little crest like used to be on Wendy's airplanes.
Yeah.
And to put Friends Remembered and put some of the ones that we've lost that meant a lot to me. We've lost too many to put on one sheet, but
Yeah, we run out of airplane.
We're getting to that age.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought I'd live long enough to outlive several of my friends, but I've done it.
Everybody who's passed away on Stunt Hangar, which I knew most, I've known most of them. If I did it in small letters, it would take up the whole wing, both
Yeah.
sides.
Well, I tell you what, I went to my 50th high school reunion a few months ago, and there were 625 in my senior class. We've lost about half. Just about half are gone. That is spooky.
Yeah, Phil, you
Yes,
asked about Opal. Yeah,
Yes,
she
sir.
passed last month.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gary. I didn't know.
Who is that?
Oh,
My
his wife.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that,
sorry to
Gary.
hear
I'm
that.
sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
I always liked that name. I never got to see her,
Yeah.
but it was my mother's name too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was a sweetie.
I bet she was. Bet she was.
So I'm with John now, we're
You're with
Bachelor
we're
by
both
herself.
widowers now, right?
Yeah.
Lord, I'm telling you. You two left to your own devices. Good. Gosh, I'm glad you're not in the same state.
Len,
Yes,
Len, have you
Sparky.
ever ended the show here?
Who?
Len Burrell.
Yeah, I've ended it before.
Okay, you've just volunteered to be the host.
Not a problem, Sparky. Tee it
Okay.
up.
You
Okay, wait
you
a minute.
didn't object fast enough.
No, it's
Let me
okay.
end
It's
this
all
on
good.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
end the
everybody
YouTube.
be quiet for a second. I'll tell you when you can go. Let's see here. Gotta get on
What you
the
got there, Steve?
yeah.
A Brodak 40.
Oh man, that's a good little motor.
Yeah.
You know, as many of those things as people told me they've crashed out, I've been trying to find a rod and I still cannot find one.
Yeah.
All right. Now we gotta go here.
They have cylinders at Brodak still, but they don't have any piston. I guess the rod, piston, the wrist pin all came together.
Yeah.
My videos.
I got this one from Bob Zambelli.
Oh yeah.
Live. Okay, and we gotta get here. Alrighty, I want to thank everybody for watching on the YouTube side. I'm sorry I can't keep up with the chat because it's all the way across the room. We had Brent Williams in there. That's a ferret lead or ferret bead or whatever.
All right.
Gary sleeping, yeah. Yeah, we need a picture of Gary sleeping on the calendar. What size
come
bell
on,
crank you
guys.
put in a Cobra? I would put a, please guys, let me read these out and I'll finish this off. What size bell crank do you put in a Cobra? I would put a 4-inch in it. And California is $20 an hour for Burger King. Buddy
Good
Parky says,
gracious.
John, I'm trying to finish this out. I would love to have pictures. Thank you. Let's see. We live in an area that seems to escape the bad storms. We're near Cape Canaveral, which is built there, and it was not hit by hurricanes as often.
Who's that?
Roy Lane, Cape Canaveral. Roy Lane says, "Evening all. Can I use the same engine crutch you make in my Cobra?" I don't know what that's all about. All righty, we're going to end the stream. You don't have to go if you don't want to hang out for the after party. Len's going to be your host. I really appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.
Bye.
See
Bye,
ya.
Eunice.
Okay, we're off of YouTube.